My content is intended for adult collectors of the product, not made for kids. Hey everyone! Alright, so for this video, I don't have Vanish Fafnir for Quad Drive, but I have the next best thing. I have Wrath Fafnir, but it has all the parts that Vanish has, so... if this focuses, I have the 3 armor, or gravity ring, HASBRO's TP, there's Extend plus Q in the kick attachment. So I thought, hey, you know, why not just do like a dumb marathon with it and see how it does. This one will just be in low mode and I do like 1 battle high mode. So I basically get to talk about the parts currently, what I like, what I don't like, and I will probably inevitably talk about Quad Drive and the things that I really don't like with it. But yeah, you know, let's get started. So first the test launch, 3, 2, 1, then rip. Now we have to take off the attachment for the Extend Plus QD. Now, the Extend Plus for QD is really like garbage. It's basically just Zephyr. 3, 2, 1, let it rip. Really, it's confusing why it's called balance when it doesn't perform. Like, it's basically attack. But whatever. So we're gonna do some matches against all this stuff, see how it does. I'm gonna try to go for a slow-mo burst in this, so I probably can pull it off. You gotta really love how these things fall apart so easily. Yeah, the burst resistance on all of it is not really good. For how good the burst resistance is on the Fafnir core, you know, it's okay. It's okay. I think all of QD really just has bad slopes. Like, all of it. Like, even in the reviews, right? There are just things that say that, like, the performance tip having a good spring, but, like, for actual burst resistance, if you're trying to do other combinations, it is really poor. And I don't know why, but it's been so long since we've really gotten something super tight. Even with Surge, with D6, Dragon D6 and Surprise and S6, and I think also Helios 2, you know, it still wasn't really that good compared to the best that we got from Rise. Like, even Rise had a lot of acceptable stuff. But yeah, in terms of QD only, like, it'll probably do, like, okay. Now, the Vanish Blade, we have absolutely zero clue at the time of this recording. Hopefully, it's useful. If not, that will be an extremely big disappointment. The 3 gravity ring... well, actually, for the Vanish ring, I can't say anything else, because if I don't have it, I can't really speak on it now, can I? The 3 gravity ring literally just doesn't matter. So, like, gravity rings for QD don't matter. It's like, it's such a small difference between them that it's really just for aesthetic reasons, which is really disappointing, but what's really good actually is HASBRO's TP. Obviously not as good as the TAKARA, but in terms of HASBRO only, I have done a testing on my other channel, and it does do kind of to the similar effect that TAT does for opposite spin matchups. So it's probably so far the only real disc in QD I could say is like legitimately useful and good. Or at least more competently created than the other QD discs. Which I think is more fair to say. Obviously, except, now, basically a lot of the bases for the performance tips are obviously going to suck and they're not going to be good. So Extend plus Q is just simply, it's not good. Even if you wanted to use for attack, there are better options within QD like Assault. And also, I just really don't like it. I want to be honest, it's just like, it's like, ugh. Now, it is pretty good, actually, is the kick attachment. So there are times where sometimes changes HASBRO does can be for the better. In this case, they had a pretty easy job. despite Kick not having the same gimmick as the original, which I don't even remember what the original was supposed to be. I think it was to like regain balance when it's pushed down or something. I literally don't remember. Or KO resistant, I'm pretty sure. Like, I don't know. It was a really easy job, and while it wouldn't have hurt to put the stupid spring on the thing because that doesn't really affect it, they did manage to fix the issue with the bottom. The bottom is a little bit wider, and it is able to have some really good stamina, same spin, and does okay opposite spin. So it is an improvement over Takara, though I still think this gimmick here could have stayed, because in the reality this dish is just serving not really as anything for the performance. It's just, oh, I spun it the wrong way, oh god. No, you know, the circular shape is just there for like its stamina or whatever, right? So that was fine, and the spring was fine. Ideally what they just did was they just made this a little bit, this focuses. They just made this a little bit more wider. So it's kind of like wide defense from Metal Fight in that sense. So they did do an improvement over Kick, although I still have to say that regardless, they could have added the thing. But it is one of those performance tips where they did fix. Although still, I would have liked to have had the little thing there. Other tips also they've done like that where they fixed have been like Absorb Slingshot, where arguably people could say it served better purpose than the TT one. Yard Slingshot compared to Yard is like, there's no debate on that. They did improve Yard scraping issues and everything. But, yeah, you know, there you go. So really what Cutie has good that's going for it is one attachment, maybe the discs, none of really like the layers or the cores or the gravity armors. So it's really not looking that good so far. If by only the first wave there's barely any parts that are that useful, even the discs are kind of debatable. Like, I'm being very generous to Hasbro's TP, but even then it's like, you know, it's whatever, but like, yeah, Cutie is still a pretty big disappointment, I would say. I am very, very worried for the future waves, simply because what we have right now is not that promising. Because, you know, it's not like they have that many things. No, okay, well, no, let's be fair now. If they want to do more things like Kick, for an example, where it's like a good attachment on the thing, then maybe there could be some use for at least the performances. But I do think, yeah, overall, obviously, the system is not that good. It just simply has too many flaws to go with it. I don't know if this is gonna pan out with Baldurov. But yeah, I just like to talk about that stuff because, you know, it's important to acknowledge. You know, it's important to acknowledge pros and cons. And move that to the side. Okay, we're gonna get you. Such a disappointment of a release. Yeah, but no, it is just to do that because, like, honestly, like, there's like this narrative from Hasbro fans that they always make these excuses, or, oh, I don't watch Zankye because he's not trying to sell me the product. He's being actually honest in the reviews. Which I find really funny. It's like, what do they want me to say in the reviews? Do they just want me to do a commercial or what? That's why I don't really understand. I truly don't. Because it is really a weird, like, idea, right? Because it's like, well, why are you watching the review? Are you watching a review just to hear your opinion confirmed? Or are you watching the review for the actual thoughts? That's why I don't really understand, I don't know, the mindset. It's really confusing. Oh yeah, finally stone's not bursting. I mean, not jinx it. I think Cutie definitely does have good concepts, but I definitely think they're doing the bare minimum. Like, apparently this is supposed to be Hunter. Apparently. I can't tell. I thought this was like Excel or something. You know, if the Cutie... Honestly, like... I think I would be less critical of Cutie if the performance tips actually had gimmicks. I mean, like, for things like Venture or whatever, it's like, well, you could have used the rubber on there. Never could have been at least the free spin. That would have been nice. No, it's like, it's... I don't know. Honestly, it's just really like... Basically in the review, it's just like... this sort of snowball effect where it's this issue, it's this issue, it's this, it's this, it's this. It's like, okay, even by a fun perspective, even like in general for fun, it's like, well, they don't even paint the base properly. So it's, even if there's no gimmicks and even if it's never gonna be like Takara, it's like, well, at least they could do that. I don't know. I just hope they get their stuff together with the future waves, but I know this is a delusional way of thinking that they're gonna somehow do it. Just like when people ask, how are they gonna do this gimmick? They probably won't. Alright, that's basically the end for the Cutie ranting. Alright, we get to do this one. I really hate Extend Plus Cutie. I really hate it. It's just really cringe. There's no real positive to it. It's ugly. I still don't like it. They had to make you buy... They had to make you buy basically the starter and then the 2-pack to get the real color, which is really annoying. Oh yeah, also on the topic of Fafnir, I'm very curious how they're gonna do the gears, and by that I mean literally how are they gonna do the gears? Because it's gonna be really, because on the topic of Fafnir, because Fafnir obviously was the first one to come with the gear to upgrade Belial. Now I have no clue, but I'm gonna give my predictions. I think with F-Gear is just gonna be another release of Destruction where it already has the gear on it. That's what I think. But will it actually have rubber? Well, honestly, it's a really tiny piece of rubber that I think they can spare. Will they actually do it? Hell no. It doesn't seem like... Which is really sad in the grand scheme of things that something so simple can't be done, but if we're gonna be like, with Hasbro, you always gotta like be really realistic and really assume like they won't do anything, so that way when they do, like, it's really sad to begin with, but we have to have really low standards so that way we get surprised. Now I do think that that's how they're gonna handle it. Now, what's the next gear? What am I thinking of? What was the next gear? Oh, V-Gear. Well, V-Gear they can't even do because there is no slot for Venture, so they'll probably just do fused plastic Venture plus V. Which is what I'm gonna assume. Makes you wonder how they're gonna do All Mights, because that's gonna be pretty interesting. Which also, by the way, let me remind you that for all the people that say, oh, they cut the gimmick because of this, that, and this, we did get burst stoppers on Turbo Spryzen, Turbo Achilles, and Turbo Valtryek, so the Bellfire core has no excuse there, huh? S-Gear, they literally can just do a release of it, because they could just do like a smaller version of S-Gear, which I think is better than nothing. Which they should, because it's all it is a little attachment. They might just throw it in some set. Now I'm trying to think L-Gear. Actually, L-Gear will be probably pretty easily. They'll probably have to modify L-Gear, but obviously plastic, but they will probably do it. Well, I say they will, but it's more I hope they do L-Gear. Honestly, things like that, especially with just thinking about it, is very, it's like, well, they could, but they also could just skip it. Anything else? No, that's really it. It's really just gonna be the rest of me saying I'm worried. But yeah, as far as the performance goes on this thing, I think it's been doing pretty good. It has good enough stamina. I am still a little bit worried over, you know, the Vanish Blade, really. Because nice. No. Again, let's just assume, okay, we're going to talk about the three, like I've said. It's either they don't do any, if they don't do any rubber at all, it's going to be absolutely garbage. 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 I don't even want to think about using it if it's all plastic. If it's all plastic, it'll be garbage. If it's all rubber, hey, that's pretty good. But if it's all plastic, no. If it's part plastic and part rubber, it's probably not going to be as good as it should be. Because that plastic thing's going to really just hurt it. But here's the hoping they can do it right. And yeah, there you go. There's been my my typical, the Zankye typical rant on Hasbro. Again, you know, no people love it. No, that's... people kill me for it if I do a rant. No, that's really it. So stay safe during these times. I talked about positives for QD. I have the testing channel. Oh, and quick plug at the end. I have a channel called Zankye 2. I actually just did a Let's Play with Brilliant Diamond. And I also have Bottlemen content. So I'll be doing more content on at least Zankye 2. And yeah, definitely stay tuned for that. This combo, you know, managed to work out fine, I guess. Maybe we'll see some good left stuff in the future, hopefully. But yeah, thank you for watching. Have an amazing day. Bye.